Hello everyone, my name is Mary Carmen and today I'll be talking about selective highlighting. Selective highlighting is a reading strategy where you only highlight the most important information after initially reading it. This prompts the reader to really process the text and decide what is actually essential. I found this strategy interesting because it was particularly effective with me who struggled to get through readings. Let me walk you through the steps. The first step is simply reading the first paragraph. No highlighting yet. This initial read is meant to give you some context into the reading. Now in the second step, you're going to reread the text, but this time while you're reading, look for words or phrases that capture a main idea. You can also highlight key terms, definitions, or supporting details. And make sure to avoid highlighting entire sentences or paragraphs because you'll end up with too much information. This last step is a bonus if you want to help reinforce comprehension. After highlighting, write a brief summary or a question of the highlighted content in the margins. This keeps you engaged with the content and helps with deeper processing. So why does selective highlighting work? First, it improves retention and recall because it prompts the reader to process information more deeply. When you selectively choose what to highlight, you're not just skimming through the text, you're actively evaluating each sentence. Second, it keeps you actively engaged since you have to stay thinking to decide what's worth highlighting. Third, it improves focus because your eyes follow the highlighted trail as it moves across the page. Research actually explains why selective highlighting is effective. For instance, in one of our readings, you and her team found that when you selectively choose what to highlight, you're exercising more cognitive effort. This deeper engagement changes how your brain encodes that information, making it more memorable. We see that thinking and processing the text to decide what to highlight involves deeper processing, thereby improving retention and recall. Van Blurkum also points out that highlighting helps maintain active reading as it prompts you to identify and process key points as they appear, so you're not just letting your eyes pass through the words. As a result, this is helping increase comprehension. Blurkum also revealed that the act of following the highlighted words as you move your marker across the page improves focus because it keeps your attention to those specific words. Now, I applied selective highlighting in my Soc 129 class. For this assignment, I had to read a 10-page research article called Sociology of Racism by Claire and Dennis. Breaking down the process, I first read each paragraph fully to get a general understanding of its content. Then I briefly paused to consider any keywords or ideas. Afterwards, I reread the paragraph, this time more quickly, and highlighted key terms, definitions, and important concepts. In the example below, you'll see I highlighted the definitions for racial discrimination and racial inequality with some color coding. I used blue for vocab and yellow for key points so that I could easily distinguish these categories. I finished reading and highlighting the entire 10 pages in about 55 minutes. Before I was introduced to selective highlighting, I was a passive reader, often getting distracted and procrastinating in between reading. I often reread and did not retain much. Because of this, reading sessions took me around 2 to 4 hours, and I didn't really look for key points and sometimes highlighted unnecessary information. After I started selective highlighting, I became an active reader and started focusing on identifying and processing the main points. I could remember main ideas more easily and could read and highlight in shorter sessions because I was no longer losing focus. Selective highlighting also helped me with my learning goals by helping me stay focused and engaged with the reading. This not only improved my concentration and reduced my reading time, but made me feel more confident in my comprehension. It also saved me time by making it easier to find information while writing essays because I could easily refer back to what I had highlighted. As for some revisions, for students who get distracted more easily, I recommend setting a 20 to 30 minute timer, then after each session taking a 5 to 10 minute break to refresh and avoid burnout. And to stay on task while reading, try limiting yourself to highlighting only 1 to 2 main ideas per paragraph. This prevents overmarking and could help maintain your attention. And for someone who is a visual learner, color coding could help. For example, using pink for vocab and definitions, green for evidence, yellow for main ideas, and red for exam content. This color system not only separates categories of information, but also makes the notes visually memorable. Thank you for listening.